Hey YouTube, here's the acoustic. I had looking at the projects the other day. I kind of went through. Basically, the first thing I did was I stuck a pickup in it, which actually, why does nobody ever do this? I had to Dremel it out a wee bit so I could get it flush in, but I mean, it just seems an awful good idea, doesn't it? Yeah. So I wanted to make sure the guitar was worth actually spending any time on, you know. So I cleaned it up a bit, stuck a pickup in it and an output jack, and then. Actually, the guitar's pretty good. Yeah, so I mean, and then I started thinking, actually, put the knobs on the front like John Lennon's Epiphone. You know, you're not meant to put things into the top to stop the soundboard vibrating and all that. And I understand why you don't want to cut up a £5,000 Martin, but I don't know. I just think I went kind of more for looks. The plan was I actually put in. I've got two of these pickups. The other one I was thinking of putting in there and making it so it ran like a humbucker, but I think it might just look ugly. I've also got a thing kicking about which I don't see it now. I've got a piezo loaded thing which I was thinking of doing as well. I left it intentionally so there's enough room so you could have like two outputs and a piezo with a tuner and an EQ and stuff in it, but I don't know, I think there's something really cool about this. It's very 70s, isn't it? But I say I don't know why you don't see lots of acoustics kicking about on Facebook Marketplace that have a single coil Strat pickup in it. Piezos tend to sound very direct, and they've definitely piezo. You know, the piezo's a bit that sits in below the saddle. Normally for doing acoustics, they all seem very artificial. I've got my Yamaha has a mic inside it as well with a blend. So you know the wee unit's got like a blend thing on it. Makes a huge difference. So it's basically got like a mic in it. I've actually, the one on my 12 stringer's got like a three-way thing. It's got the piezo in below the saddle. It's got a wee mic inside it, and it's got like a clip-on pickup thing. So you can mix between the three. So your ideal sound would have all three, really, or you mic it up from the front and then you use this. But I've decided this was cool. Also means you can plug it into a tuner, which is a handy feature to have, rather than trying to find a clip-on one, which I do have a few of, but I keep losing. That's one of the main joys of it when I switched up to having like a pedal board tuner. It's like, where's the tuner? It's there. It's always there. It's not a case of, right, where's the tuner? It's like you're looking about trying to find. I remember taking my bin to bits because I had my first clip-on tuner. I had it, and I'd sat it on the corner of my stereo, and it was totally fully in view. You just couldn't see it. And that was me after emptying the bin out, thinking one of my pals had accidentally dropped it in the bin. Yeah. So this is a Florian guitar, which I've never heard of. I did look up Florian, and they make like handmade £5,000 Spanish guitars. This isn't one of them, so it's another Florian. It does say handmade on the inside. Model SW21BK or SW201BK. I don't know where it's from. I'm guessing it's 20 odd years old, probably something like that. Just one of these companies that produced decent guitars for a few years and then nobody bought them because why would I buy a decent guitar when I could spend a little bit more and buy an Epiphone? That's the way the guitar industry works. Unfortunately, people only want to buy the brands. But this is a fine little acoustic, and I think to be honest, I've added to it by putting the pickup in it. So I'm just playing through the 5-watt Black Star. Obviously, it should be an acoustic pickup, acoustic amp. It's not. A very 70s sound having that. You got a volume and a tone. Suppose what happens is you put it on the drive channel. Some fuzz. That made it a bit louder. There we go. You know how to use distortion pedals with an acoustic. That also means I can plug it into the backing thing, can't I? So I can go. I can actually press the button. Bass on. All the different types. Something's a bit reacted inside of my slide. I can't play this slide at all, eh? But that was to show you that maybe an amplified up thing would be good for slide, but I can't play slide. Yeah, so if you see a Florian acoustic, they're alright, pretty good. I did have to butcher the saddle a fair bit to get the action down. We're currently sitting at 2 mil or something like that, which is the way it's meant to be set for an acoustic apparently. Quite a lot of relic marks on this, the back's quite scratched. Actually somebody, I'm trying to sell a left-handed Yamaha acoustic, and the guy offered me half the money saying that he had to get it fixed by a luthier. Okay, Why? Because it'd be alright if it was solid wood. A load of bullshit. Don't, you know, go and try and bullshit someone. Make sure that it's not somebody who knows what they're talking about. Otherwise, they just go. Yeet. I didn't react. I moaned about it a couple of times in the video, but I never actually reacted to the guy. I just went, no. Because I mean, scratches in the back really. I suppose you could T-cut it. I bet you could get it down a fair bit, but it's the back of the guitar. I see this as be a great like busking thing. Also, I mean, it just looks cool. Black acoustics. Not really that much of a fan of black guitars, but black acoustics, yeah. Yeah, you got a black acoustic rather than just a white one. Doesn't sound brilliantly in tune. So yeah, there we go. I'm not really that into acoustics myself. So this one was actually going to get painted like a solitaire, but I think it looks too cool. There's an element of not wanting to do too much work to it. I really think if I did any more it would be damaging, but I think just if that pickup wasn't white and then the strat knobs, I don't think it would do the job, but the fact that it's white and it kind of looks... No, brilliant guitar, but I mean, if someone's like, if you're going to learn to play the guitar, this is a belter. It's not going to be expensive. So rather than going and blowing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds on something, get something that you've picked up off somebody you can trust, i.e. me, that plays well and there's nothing wrong with it, which is a big thing with any second-hand guitars you buy. And I think this actually came from a car boot sale. It was absolutely manky, but it's cleaned up. Everything. I don't think it's ever really been played. The fingerboard seems to be made of something that looks a bit like... I don't know. I'm not even 100% sure it's wood. The fingerboard might be some sort of resin or something. Kind of looks like ebony, but I don't imagine it's ebony. Unless, of course, this is a fantastic £5,000 handmade guitar that I just happened to cut holes in, so ruined, which I don't think I have. I just think it's got... I would have wanted one of these when I was starting out. And it's got a pickup in it. Because let's be honest, especially if you're starting out on the guitar, having an electroacoustic, that's also another way you can tell whether someone's mad into guitars or not. It's up here, oh, you got a guitar? Yeah, I've got an electroacoustic. All right. Because if you an electroacoustic's just an acoustic. It's just if it's got a pickup in it or not. It's not its own category. I remember it being a category, semi-acoustic and electroacoustics and all that. It seems to be, it's kind of like the whammy bar in a Stratocaster. It's like people who don't play the guitar need to have an electroacoustic. Why? Really? I mean, okay, handy for gigging, performance, I suppose, but I mean, if you're playing in a folk band or something, you're likely to be mic'd up anyway. But or jamming with your pals, but even then it's like, when are you ever really going to be jamming when that's not loud enough? The answer is not really in the house. The problem is as well with this as well. I mean, even you can't really hear. I mean, I've got the amp turned up pretty loud, but the problem is there's so much volume actually comes off the guitar to start with. You can't really hear. Behind you, obviously you can hear when I stuck it into the rhythm track, it is recording it. So I mean, it's there. It's just that you can't hear it because most of the sound's coming off the guitar. So whenever you're messing about with like a wee 10-watt practice amp and an electroacoustic, you have to have it up flipping loud so you can actually hear it over the actual guitar. But the ability to just stick it in, plus it looks a bit different, doesn't it? And you could do a wee bit of Beatles on it because they had ones with knobs in the front, even though you're not meant to interfere with the vibrating surfaces. Didn't seem to make any difference. Had to put it was fun trying to put the knobs in where the bracing isn't, so you have to put your hand inside and feel it out. Yeah, so I suppose I've already talked for plenty of time in this guitar, but as a concept, if you've got your old first acoustic or something, you think, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I had some sort of pickup in it for recording? But it's dead easy to do. Well, It's fidgety. You have to Dremel it a wee bit to take the so the pickup sits in, because obviously it's a round thing, so I've Dremeled it so it fits in. It's just held in with the mounting screws. If you want to adjust the truss rod, you have to take the pickup out, which is just 2 screws, but it's annoying because obviously once I put it up, put the strings on it and decided it worked, finished it all off, and then by that time the strings had pulled it forward. I had to take it to bits yesterday and do the truss rods, and then just 2 holes and an output jack. I put the output jack in the bottom at a bit I could reach. I don't really know where to put the output jack in a guitar. Quite often it's it's the actual end pin for the strap button is the output jack, but the problem with that is you can't sit the guitar down, and that's a problem if you put it here as well. You can't sit the guitar down, so I just put it on the bottom, thinking if you're going to be recording it, your chances are you've set yourself up anyway. And I'm even using the right-handed thing, it doesn't matter, it doesn't get in the way. This strap button's not the biggest strap button in the world, I have to say. It was the first one I found. I was actually trying to make a strap button because I don't have one, but I found one. It's not a very big one. It's a nice acoustic. If I could play the acoustic a bit more, I would. Yeah, so yes, it's worth doing. I'm going to sell this. It's covered in fingerprints, but it's because it's black and shiny, and that's just one of the joys of having a black and shiny guitar, is it just shows up fingerprints. You can just wipe it down and then just touch it, and it's just immediately completely covered with them. And as I said, the back's quite scratched, but that's probably just because it's been played by a Rob Halford type, with this the leather jacket with all the metal studs on it and stuff, playing Painkiller on it. That's probably why. Or perhaps rhinestones if it was a cowboy type thing. So, rock on. See you on tomorrow night's live stream. When I'll hopefully not get as drunk as I did last week. Cheers to Gordon for this week's donation of a bottle of Bucky. The guy who fixed up his Roadster for him, and then he gave me a bottle of Bucky as a tip. It's like pure yay. So, when was the best Bucky? Wee Bucky, yeah. But good guitar. If you're looking for a cheap guitar to, that's good. It's not one that I don't know. I have sold guitars before to Focus that up here. They don't actually play, but their pals do, so they quite like to have a guitar in the living room. I mean, something like this is better for that, but it's good for learning as well. It's nice. The action's nice and low, and it doesn't buzz. I mean, I think if you go for volume wise, I don't think it's as loud as like a solid. It doesn't have the same projection as I'm comparing it to like 80s handmade guitars. So it's not as good as that. It's not as good as like a £500 Washburn from the 80s, if you can find one. But it's totally acceptable for most of the people that I knew when they were learning to play the guitar. Had an acoustic wasn't as good as this one, basically. And definitely wasn't as cool looking. They're all just brown coloured. This is black. Maybe actually. For some reason, I'm just looking at it there. I'm thinking, see, you can probably peel that off. Actually, like the scratch plate, but like a tortoiseshell scratch plate, which you might be able to just stick on top of that one. Might look really cool in this guitar. Make it a bit fancier. It's got that look of being a bit different. Oh, what's that? It's a bit interesting. Oh, it's a pure. Not really. No, it's just a black acoustic. I put a Strat pickup in, but it looks really good and plays brilliantly. So if anyone's after an acoustic, I'll put this up for sale. I need to make sure it's actually mine before I did this. This is a Scott's pal, got it from a car boot sale. Scott, I don't think could be bothered working on it, gave it to me. So I don't know whether he just gave it to me or whether or what I'm actually going to do with it. But you can certainly do an awful lot worse, infinitely worse. I don't know, I dare say I don't think you could really do any better if you're talking about buying an acoustic. The ability to plug it in is just... It's handy. It's annoying when you don't have it, because that's when you can't find a clip-on tuner, or if you're sticking something to the loop pedal, or you're recording something, it's handy just to have. Obviously, if you were going to record acoustic properly, you would mic it up anyway, but having it there just for a stick in the background thing. And I reckon it would sound really good, even though I totally failed with the slide, because I can't play slide. I reckon it would be really good for like old blues guys would like this. I've definitely seen a few folk having, like in the 70s, having like a Strat pickup sort of duct taped and sort of wedged in with pieces of wood and stuff into the sound tool, but why they never just enlarged it a little bit so it fitted in really nicely? Doesn't really... This looks like it's meant to be like this, I think. Enough nonsense. Rock on.